Nana, you're ready to go. Once it is time, you can start.
Okay.
Inka 1 minute undi, agachu.
Yes. Yeah. ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं चैव ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। Brahmara, you can take over.
Yes, I will. Om Shri Krishna Paramatmane Namaha. Atha Ashtadashodhyayaha. Moksha Sannyasa Yogaha. Arjuna Uvacha. Sannyasasya Mahabaho. Tattvamichhami Veditum. Tyagasya cha Hrishikesha. Pratak Keshi Nishudana. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Kamyanam Karmanam Nyasam Sannyasam Kavayo Viduhu Sarva Karma Phalatyagam Prahustyagam Vichakshanaha Tyajyam Doshavadityeke कर्म प्राहुर्मनीषिणः यज्ञदान तपः कर्म न त्याज्यमिति चापरे निश्चयं शृणु मे तत्र त्यागे भरतसत्तमा त्यागो हि पुरुषव्याघ्र त्रिविधः सम्प्रकीर्तितः यज्ञदान तपः कर्म न त्याज्यं कार्यमेव तत् यज्ञो दानं तपश्चैव पावनानि मनीषिणाम् एतान्यपि तु कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा फलानि च कर्तव्यानीति मे पार्थ निश्चितं मतमुत्तमम् नियतस्य तु सन्न्यासः कर्मणो नोपपद्यते मोहात् तस्य परित्यागः तामसः परिकीर्तितः दुःखमित्येव यत्कर्म कायक्लेशभयात् त्यजेत् स कृत्वा राजसं त्यागं नैव त्यागफलं लभेत् कार्यमित्येव यत्कर्म नियतं क्रियतेऽर्जुन सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा फलं चैव स त्यागः सात्विको मतः न द्वेष्ट्य कुशलं कर्म कुशलेनानुषज्यते त्यागी सत्त्वसमाविष्टो मेधावी छिन्न संशयः न हि देहभृता शक्यं त्यक्तुं कर्माण्यशेषतः यस्तु कर्मफलत्यागी स त्यागीत्यभिधीयते अनिष्टमिष्टं मिश्रं च त्रिविधं कर्मणः फलं भवत्यत्यागिनां प्रीत्या न तु सन्न्यासिनां क्वचित् पञ्चैतानि महाबाहो कारणानि निबोध मे सांख्ये कृतान्ते प्रोक्तानि सिद्धये सर्वकर्मणाम् अधिष्ठानं तथा कर्ता करणं च पृथक्विधं विविधाश्च पृथक् चेष्टा दैवं चैवात्र पञ्चमम् शरीरवाङ्मनोभिर्यत् कर्म प्रारभते नरः न्यायं वा विपरीतं वा पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः तत्रैवं सति कर्तारम् आत्मानं केवलं तु यः पश्यत्यकृतबुद्धित्वात् न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः यस्य नाहङ्कृतो भावो बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते हत्वापि स इमान् लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं परिज्ञाता त्रिविधा कर्म चोदना करणं कर्म कर्तेति त्रिविधः कर्म संग्रहः ज्ञानं कर्म च कर्ता च त्रिधैव गुणभेदतः प्रोच्यते गुणसाङ्ख्याने यथावत् शृणुतान्यपि सर्वभूतेषु येनैकं भावमव्ययमीक्षते अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम् पृथक्त्वेन तु यज्ञानं नानाभावान् पृथक्विधान् वेत्ति सर्वेषु भूतेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि राजसं यत्तु कृत्स्नवदेकस्मिन् कार्ये सक्तमहैतुकम् अतत्त्वार्थवदल्पं च तत्तामसमुदाहृतम् नियतं सङ्गरहितम् अरागद्वेषतः कृतम् अफलप्रेप्सुना कर्म यत्तत् सात्विकमुच्यते यत्तु कामेप्सुना कर्म साहङ्कारेण वा पुनः क्रियते बहुलायासं तद्राजसमुदाहृतम् अनुबन्धं क्षयं हिंसान् अनपेक्ष च पौरुषं मोहादारभ्यते कर्म यत्तत्तामसमुच्यते
Thank you.
मुक्तसङ्गो.
Thank you. You've done well. Only thing is one small correction in the 19th verse. In the 19th verse, Sankhya
Yes.
Shastra is attributed to Kapila Maharshi, yes. That Sankhya Shastra, he is the author. Kapila Maharshi is the author. Sankhya. But that is different from the Sankhya Yoga of the second chapter. That is distinctly different. Okay? Whereas in the 19th verse, because of you are getting habituated to Sankhya Shastra, you have chanted that Prochate Guna Sankhyane. It is actually Guna Sankhyane. In the Shastra, Guna Sankhyane. In the Shastra, which keeps on counting the gunas and things like that, it gives a lot of mathematical interpretations. That is called the Guna Sankhyane. Guna Sankhya. Sankhya is number. Guna Sankhya. How many gunas are there and what is the combination, etc. All these. What do they do? That is a Guna Sankhya. That's all. It's not Sankhya. But this Guna Sankhya occurs in the Sankhya Shastra of Kapila Maharshi. That is true. Okay?
Apologize to everyone.
No problem. No, it is the force of habit. Sankhya Shastra, we are all used to singing Sankhya Yoga, iti dvitiyodhyayaha. Then Sankhya Shastra,
that is
Kapila
one.
Maharshi author.
Right.
This is Guna Sankhya.
Okay. I gave a dirgha for the sa.
No problem.
No, another thing I forgot to do is to share screen. That is what I think is also. Yeah, fine.
Okay. Now I'll start from the 26th verse, okay?
Yeah.
Mukta sango anaham vadi dhrutyutsaha samanvitaha siddhyat siddhyo nirvikaraha karta satvika uchyate. Ragi karma phala prepsuhu lubdho himsatmako ashuchihi harsha shokanvita karta rajasa parikirtitaha ayuktaha prakrutaha stabdaha shetaha naishkritikaha alasaha vishadi dirghasutri cha karta tamasa uchyate buddher bhedam dhruteshchaiva gunatas trividham shrunu प्रोच्यमानमशेषेण पृथक्त्वेन धनञ्जय प्रवृत्तिं च निवृत्तिं च कार्याकार्ये भयाभये बन्धं मोक्षं च या वेत्ति बुद्धिः सा पार्थ सात्विकी यया धर्मम् अधर्मं च कार्यं च अकार्यमेव च अयथावत् प्रजानाति बुद्धिः सा पार्थ राजसी अधर्मं धर्ममिति या मन्यते तमसा वृताः सर्वार्थान् विपरीतांश्च बुद्धिः सा पार्थ तामसी धृत्या यया धारयते मनः प्राणेन्द्रियक्रियाः योगेन अव्यभिचारिण्या धृतिः सा पार्थ सात्विकी यया तु धर्मकामार्थान् धृत्या धारयते अर्जुन प्रसंगेन फलाकांक्षी धृतिः सा पार्थ राजसी यया स्वप्नं भयं शोकं विषादं मदमेव च न विमुञ्चति दुर्मेधा धृतिः सा पार्थ तामसी सुखं त्विदानीं त्रिविधं शृणु मे भरतर्षभ अभ्यासाद्रमते यत्र दुःखान्तं च निगच्छति यत्तदग्रे विषमिव परिणामे अमृतोपमं तत्सुखं सात्विकं प्रोक्तम् आत्मबुद्धि प्रसादजम् विषयेन्द्रिय संयोगात् यत्तदग्रे अमृतोपमं परिणामे विषमिव तत्सुखं राजसंस्मृतम् यदग्रे च अनुबन्धे च सुखं मोहनमात्मनः निद्रालस्य प्रमादोत्तं तत्तामसमुदाहृतं न तदस्ति पृथिव्यां वा दिवि देवेषु वा पुनः Sattvam prakriti jair muktam edhe vishyatri virgunaihi brahmana kshatriya visham shudranam cha parantapa karmani pravibhaktani swabhava prabhavair gunaihi shamo damas tapashaucham shantihi arjavameva cha jnanam vijnanamastikyam brahma karma swabhavajam शौर्यं तेजो धृति दाक्ष्यं युद्धे चापि अपलायनं दानम ईश्वर भावश्च क्षत्रं कर्म स्वभावजम् कृषि गौरक्ष वाणिज्यं वैश्य कर्म स्वभावजम् परिचर्यात्मकं कर्म शूद्रस्यापि स्वभावजम् स्वे स्वे कर्मण्यभिरतः संसिद्धिं लभते नरः स्वकर्म निरतः सिद्धिं यथा विन्दति तच्छृणु यत प्रवृत्तिर्भूतानां येन सर्वमिदं ततं स्वकर्मणा तमभ्यर्च्य सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः. Incidentally, this particular verse, this 46th verse of the 18th chapter, there was an extensive bhashyam by Adi Shankaracharya in his Gita bhashyam. Okay, if you so in the PDF document also by Swami Dayananda, that is extensively covered. Please read that. I read this verse again. Yatha pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindati manavaha. In short, what it means is yataha pravrittihi bhutanam. You and I are bhutas. What is the pravritti for us? We are able to cognize things. We are able to see. We are able to feel. All our faculties are working. All the pranas are manifesting in their activities. That is all pravritti. Yataha, from where is this pravritti? Yataha pravrittihi bhutanam yena karanena. With what cause? Yena sarvam idam tatam. Sarvam idam jagat tatam. It is vyaptam. Tatam is vyaptam. With what? Everything is pervaded. Because of what? The pravritti in the bhutanam is possible. That swakarmana tamabhyacha. Swakarmana. With whatever you are doing, what is swabhava janitam karma? Swakarmana tam abhyacha. Tam is that karanam. Yataha pravritti. From where is that pravritti? That where, if that is answered, that power, tam abhyacha. You do the pujana for that. With what? Swakarmana. Swakarmana tam abhyacha. Siddhim vindati manavaha. You need not be worried that what you are doing is a nikrishta karma. Need not be worried. If that is your sahaja karma, do it appropriately, very nicely, very efficiently, with Ishwararpana buddhi and with prasada buddhi. Swakarmana tamabhyacha siddhim vindatim. Very extensive bhashya by Shankaracharya. This is one of the verses in the Gita on which Shankara Bhashya goes on and on and on. Another is in the 4th chapter. In the 4th chapter, what is that verse? Karmani akarmaya pascheta karmani cha karmaya sabuddhiman manushyeshu sayuktaha krishna karma katra. In the opening verse of the Gita also, ashotyanam ashotyastam prajnavadanscha bhashase gata asun agata asumscha nanushochanti panditaha. Continuing in the 2nd chapter, there are several other verses where Bhashya was extensive. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhuhu mate sangostva karmani. Then another thing, yanisha sarvabhutanam tasyam jagati samyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sanisha pashyato mune. Like that, there have been kind of hand-picked verses in the Gita on which Shankara Bhashya goes on and on and on. And he takes into consideration the objections by the opponents. Purvapaksha. He raises a question as though he is the opponent and answers that effectively. This is to enable all of us understand the import and the essence of the message from Gita Acharya. Who is Gita Acharya? There are two. One is
Vyasa, both.
another is Vyasama Bhagavan. Okay. That is to not to forget the essence of the shloka. See, Bhashyam is extensive on some verses. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmat swanushtitat. This line is the same thing as that obtaining in the 3rd chapter. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmat swanushtitat. Swadharme nidhanam shreyaha paradharmo bhayavaha. That is how the 3rd chapter, 2nd line goes. Here the 2nd line is Swabhavaniyatam karma kurvan na apnoti kilbisham sahajam karma kaunteya sadoshamapi nachyajet sarvaramba hidoshena dhumena agnirimavrutaha asakta buddhi sarvatra jitatma vigata spruha naishkarmya siddhim paramam sanyasenadhigachyati siddhim prapto yatha brahma तथाप्नोति निबोध में समासेनैव कौन्तेय निष्ठा ज्ञानस्य या परा बुद्ध्या विशुद्धया युक्तः धृत्यात्मानं नियम्य च शब्दादीन् विषयान् त्यक्त्वा रागद्वेषौ युधस्य च. I think we should stop here. You know, in the force of chanting, I have gone to the 51st verse also. Okay. Go back to 35th verse, is it? Where we ended that buddhi.
Yes, 35th verse.
35th, huh?
Yes.
35th. Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam vishadam madameva cha navi munchati durmedha dhruti sa pada tamasi. That is the tamasika pravritti fellows dhruti. That resolve. We have covered this, isn't it?
Yes.
That resolve by which the one whose thinking is improper does not give up sleep, fear, sorrow, depression, and intoxication. It is considered tamasika dhruti arjuna. Okay. Now, yesterday, some questions were raised. Brahmara, for instance, was asking whether the jnani can render the tamasic people into rajasic and rajasic people into sattvic. It is not so easy. See, in the Mahabharata, there have been several stories highlighting this particular point. See, there is one person, a sadhaka. He had a lot of estates, and he was unable to take care of the work pertaining to the estates. And he had a guru. He approached the guru and sought his advice. What can I do? Then guru said, you employ some people. Then I said, I don't have the wherewithal to employ some people. But give me one mantra invoking which I can beckon that Panipishachi. Panipishachi means that demon who will do all work in no time, that kind of a thing. Then the guru says, I can give you the mantra, but it is very dangerous for you. Then he said, don't worry, sir. I will have your blessings always, but please give me the mantra. Then the guru says, be careful. Okay. The moment you utter the mantra, that Panipishachi will come. Panipishachi means Pani is work. Work Pishachi means the demon who does work just like that, quickly. That Panipishachi. That the actual word used in the Mahabharata, I forgot. That's why I've substituted that as the meaning of that. So this fellow goes home. Shuchir Bhutva, after having taken bath and things like that, Achamanam Krutva, Achamanam he has done. And he has paid his respects to the Guru and uttered that mantra. And soon enough, the demon came. He said, "What is it I can do for you?" Then he says, "Into my field, which has some 1,000 acres of land, there is an yonder well that is very, very big well. You bring out the waters in the well and wet the entire 1,000 acres land." Then that fellow, the demon says, "I will do that. But afterwards, what? You do that first, and afterwards I'll tell you." This fellow thought, this sadhaka, that 1,000 acres wetting the land is not so easy. He will take some weeks for that. This demon finished off that work in about half an hour and came back. "What else can I do for you?" This is what his guru warned him. It is dangerous. That Panipishachi will be a dangerous fellow for you. Then he gives him some other work. You take these seeds and plant everywhere with some, 1 yard distance all over the 1,000 acres. He finishes that in 1 hour and comes back. What else? Then he is unable to give any work. Then he says, "If you don't give me work, I will know what I have to do. I am feeling very hungry. I will eat you up." Who this Panipishachi says, this fellow will be frightened. He somehow manages to give him some other work and quickly runs to the Guru and prostrates to the Guru, acknowledges the anxiety Guru had before he gave the mantropadesha. "Guru, this is like this, please save me." Then the Guru smiles at him and says, "Don't worry. Have you got a dog taking care of your house and things like that, gardening?" He says, "Yes." You ask this fellow to straighten the dog's tail. But he will do in no time. You do as I say, have faith in me, you go. Then he goes there. The demon says, "I'm waiting for you. Where is the work for me?" Then he says, "You straighten my dog's tail." This fellow goes there. I have straightened. Then he says, "Look, it is already curled. What have you straightened? You're not straightened at all." Then this fellow keeps on laboring at it. No matter what he does, the dog's tail is curved back again. What I'm saying is, this kind of a sadhaka, he has learned it the hard way. Number one. Number two, you take the dog, for instance. The dog, if you consider that as a tamasika rupa, the dog's tail is the quality of the tamasika rupa's asami. That dog's tail will keep all getting curled, no matter what you do. So it is not possible for a jnani to kind of elevate the tamasic fellow into rajasic and rajasic fellow into sattvic. The intrinsic urge must be there in them, and they must have the shield of Purushartha in front of them, and they must make adequate effort. There is another story, Mahabharata, my God, full of stories. Nana Kyanaka Kesaram, Harikatha Sambodhana Bodhitam, Loke Sajjana Shatpadaira Haraha, Pepi Yamanam Muda, Bhoya Bharata Pankajam, Kalimala Pradvamsina Shreyase. This is one of the verses in the Gita Dhyanam. Beautiful. Whole of Mahabharata is full of very instructive stories. They are not simple stories. They are stories to be lived by us. Another story is, what is the story? Just now I had in my mind. Old age is taking care. What it does is, 1 minute, I'm trying to recollect. Please pardon me. This kind of a thing is happening to me, Brahmara. I remember a thing, but I quickly forget. What? I don't know what is happening.
You at your age, it is happening to me at my age. So I think you're so much, you're in so many ways, you're your intellect and memory is still very
Yes,
sharp.
you keep chanting Om for a couple of minutes. I'll get that story. Okay, when I get the story, I'll come back to you.
There was a
So,
question that Bela had regarding Mahabharata stories only. Bela, are you there?
Hari Om. Yeah, I'm there, Brahmaraji.
Hari Om.
Regarding Bhishmacharya and what was his dhriti? Was it Rajasic or was it Sattvic?
Bhishmacharya, what?
Bela had a... Yeah, Bela, go ahead.
Hey,
Yeah,
something happening
uh,
to the audio. Once in a while, it is kind of breaking and keeping silent.
My audio.
Okay, Belaji's question is what?
am
Bhishmacharya?
I audible? My internet is not.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, you're audible.
You are audible, yes.
Yeah. Nanaji Bhishmacharya had his pratigya vows for the Hastinapur. So was
Yes.
it Rajasic kind of bhakti?
Not really, not really. No, he has gone there to the father of that Matsya Gandhi. Matsya Gandhi was later on,
Shantanu.
okay, Satyavati. She was later on, after this Parashara Maharshi, she was turned into Yojana Gandhi. She became fragrant for a distance of some 8 miles. Yojana is 8 miles. All around a big sphere of 8-mile radius, that she was fragrant. Her fragrance was available. Now that Satyavati, Bhishmacharya's father wanted to marry, but her father, Satyavati's father, said, unless you promise to make the progeny of Satyavati the next emperor of the land, I will not give. Then Bhishmacharya, he has come to know through the charioteer of Shantanu and has approached this father of Satyavati and told him, yeah, Satyavati's son will be king. Then he says, that fellow, you may say that, but your children may not agree. They may usurp. Then he takes a pratigna. That pratigna is a sattvika bhavana. But while doing the pratigna, to my mind, Bhishmacharya made a mistake. In that pratigna, there are 2-3 pratignas he has made. One is he will remain a bachelor for life. Number 2, he said, this is a second pratigna, which is perhaps defective. He said he will protect anybody sitting on the Hastinapur throne. Instead of saying he will protect the Hastinapur throne, he said he will protect who is sitting on the throne, which is a mistake. If he has not done that, if he has only said, I will protect the Hastinapur throne, he would have simply dethroned Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, etc., and brought in Yudhishthira. He had to conform to the pratigna that he has made. Whoever was sitting in the throne, the Dhritarashtra, so he had to protect him. That was perhaps in the heat of the moment he made a mistake. But no matter, it is not a Rajasic pratigna. It is born out of Sattvika guna. It's not an easy thing to you are a very, very promising prince of that land, and you are likely to be the emperor after Shantanu, and you have forsaken that opportunity. Not only that, you have made a vow that you will not marry, and on top of that, you said you will protect that blind fellow sitting on the throne of Hastinapura. That was the third one is a mistake. But even that mistake, it is born out of Sattvika guna only. Does that answer your question, Belaji?
Yes, Nanaji. Dhanyavad, Nanaji.
It is not easy, I tell you. To renounce all those things, it's not easy. That kind of renunciation cannot be done by a Rajasic person. It is Sattvika only.
Yes,
Nanaji, what was the third one?
The third one, he said he will renounce the kingdom. He is not making any claim for the kingdom. That's number one. He will remain a bachelor throughout his life, number two, and he will protect that fellow sitting on the throne of Hastinapura, number three. That is a mistake. If he had said, I will protect the Hastinapur throne, even though I am not the king, I will always protect the throne, then things would have been different. Mahabharata Yuddham would not have taken place. And you know what? Fortunately for us, it took place and we have the Gita.
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah, maybe inadvertently, Bhishmacharya made a good decision in the third pratigna also. Otherwise, we would not have had Gita. Okay.
Anna, 1 minute. When supposing you have the question is of evolution, how does person see? We have not been sattvic right from the beginning. We have had some tamasic nature, rajasic nature. We still have, but we are on the path of evolution. So, what are those factors that that govern that make a tamasic start evolving? Is it the little punya that he does that scales him up a little bit, little by little? What is it that gives him that samskara to even think of this
punya that he does in this janma? That requires a purushartha, a free will, and the free will must manifest in abundance continuously, and he must have the nishtha to translate the free will into effective action. It's not enough if he has the free will and he says, yes, I will do this, but does not do it. That nishtha must be permanent.
Yeah. And my question is, what is it that gives him that free will, even that free will to even want to do such a thing? What is it that governs? Supposing it's a person is like Duryodhana, totally tamasic, and he's only destructive in his thoughts, and his very selfish, and so Duryodhana also would evolve, isn't it? He will not remain Duryodhana through the ages, through his different births. He will evolve from being Duryodhana to becoming an Arjuna, and therefore ultimately he would also realize himself. So, what is that factor that translates, that converts Duryodhana, a person like Duryodhana, to a person like Arjuna? Free will, you said yes, but what is it that initiates that free will even?
Maybe the Purva Janma samskara, which is beneficial for translating Purushartha into action.
Will satsanga, will company of the master?
Satsanga certainly will help.
Will help, right? So
him
coming, but yeah, that is what.
Satsanga will certainly help. It is like this. You have a small bottle. In that, you have kept asafoetida, suppose. Asafoetida, I suppose all of you know.
Hing.
That hing. And after a day or two, you remove the asafoetida from that bottle and try to smell the bottle. What does it smell of?
Of asafoetida.
Asafoetida. Is it not? Satsanga will have that kind of an advantage. Satsanga is like that asafoetida, and it will smear you its own fragrance. Its own fragrance. And supposing you are used to frequenting a garden full of very fragrant flowers. Every day you are going there and spending about an hour there in the midst of the flowers. And don't you think for a little while, you will be fragrant also. The fragrance of the flowers in the garden will kind of anoint you. That is the effect of satsanga. Satsangatve nissang. It is not for nothing that these verses have been written, have been said. All these with a purpose in mind. Mahatmas, when they do, unwittingly also if they do, it will have a purpose.
Right.
Like Bhishmacharya unwittingly has taken the decision, and we have the Gita now today.
So this explains actually why masters of your ancient rishis and all the teachers have constantly been giving this prabodha, number one. And also the different tradition, the different things that we have in our culture, like the homas, rituals, pujas, all those, maybe they're instrumental in uplifting people who are very lowly in their dhriti to slowly upscale. Maybe even if they come attend a puja or a satsang.
No, you are mixing up two things. What is said is something, and what you are doing is something else. What is said is required to be digested, understood, and you are required to live what is said. You are required to live what is said. Get rid of attachment. You are required to do that. And get rid of the bhavana of hateful feelings towards anybody. Adveshta sarvabhutanam. These are the beautiful sayings. There is not much to do in this. Now you are mixing up doing and understanding. This is quite a bit a part of understanding. This is part of understanding that Purushartha will have to take effect very nicely. For that, this satsangam, satsangatve nisangatvam. See, these are these things to be understood, things to be done. Don't mix up those. Things to be done, you do, but with understanding, this what you are doing is karma.
Correct. What I meant was,
no. Let me complete. Let me complete. Karma and na karmana, na prajaya, dhanena, chage naike, amrutatvamanashuho. That immortality which you want to gain, it cannot be through any kind of karma, however massive, big, however pious that karma may be. It will give you some punyam, and the punyam will bind you again. You will not be freed from this bondage. For you to get out of this bondage, it is not the karma. With that understanding, if you have to do karma, do it. But don't accord the karma as though that is the only supreme thing and things like that. No. This kind of the bhavana must be gotten rid of. Otherwise, there's no progress.
No. What I meant was, I completely understand that knowledge ultimately is the only liberating factor here. What I meant was, I'm still in that the thing where the tamasic people evolve. So for them, from instead of doing dushkarma or durvasanas, instead of accumulating them, in order for them to do some satkarma or to develop suvasanas, these things will help probably. That is why they're all, our culture has so much of all of this to cater to different mindsets. That's what I meant. Of course, I'm not refuting the fact that karma is, of course, not going to get you to liberation. No amount of karma will. It is only knowledge through which you get liberated. But even for the purushartha, that mumuksha purushartha to dawn in a person who's totally tamasic, for him to evolve from there to the sattvic, these the traditional things that we have probably help. That is what I wanted to mention. They may play a role. Nana, you're muted. Nana, you're muted. I think you have to unmute yourself. We can't hear you.
Oh, my cursor went there and did some damage. Okay, so I'm so sorry.
We couldn't hear you for the last 1 minute or so. I don't know whether you were speaking something.
Oh, maybe that. Ayuktaha. This tamasic karta, that fellow whom we're trying to discuss about now, that fellow, his attributes are what? Ayuktaha. He is always at a loss to himself. He is disturbed always. Ayuktaha, prakrutaha, immature, no viveka, stabdaha, irreverent, shataha, very deceitful in his pursuits, naishkrutikaha, very cruel in his approach, alasaha, lazy bum, alasaha, vishadi, always given to enjoying sadness. Vishadi. He will be unhappy if he is not sorrowful. That kind of a fellow. Vishadi. Dirghasutricha. Highly procrastinative in his dealings with actions. That kind of a fellow, you want to put him into some action? It is a failure. You must make him understand first. Make him understand first. Make him turn a new leaf in his head. Then he will perhaps give it a try. That will be the action which you are proposing. First, understanding what he is doing is totally wrong. He must accept that and make amends for that. In his thinking, there must be a new leaf that he has to take. Without the proper thinking, simple action does not help. And simple action, this procrastinator, Dirghasutri, Alasaha, lazy fellow, what kind of action he can do? You must make him understand the proper way to think about anything is like this. Understand, my dear, I am telling you this for your good. This is for your progress. You cannot remain like this. There have been great Mahatmas who have begun like this, but they have made themselves into Mahatmas by proper understanding. It's not a question of repeated doing activities.
Got it.
Okay? You must make that person understand first. Afterwards, you initiate him into these rituals. It's okay. And telling them this ritual is not the be all and all. It is only the beginning. It is only the beginning to inculcate the necessary discipline in you. That kind of a discipline in you is required for the Karma Yoga Anushtana. Karma Yoga means this. It has these attributes, Karma Yoga. It has this phala. Even if you don't require the phala, it gives you the phala. Without your knowledge, your antakarana will be purer by the day. This is the way to talk to him. You must make him understand. You must befriend that fellow so that he will have a tendency to listen to you. You can't be blaming him. He is what he is because what he has been earlier in his Purva Janmas. That must be acknowledged. That must be accepted. All are Mahatmas. Some Mahatmas know themselves as Mahatmas. They are Jivan Muktaha. And the Jivan Mukta knows the non-Mahatmas as Mahatmas, even though they do not know themselves. They know everything, but they have to give some time for them to develop. Okay, now in spite of all this discussion, I still could not get that other story which I thought I'll tell you. I forgot. Okay. Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam vishadam madame vacha navimunchati durmedha dhritissa pardha tamasi. Then next verse. Yeah, no, correct. Here. Now we're talking of Sukham. We have covered a lot of ground as given by Kitaya. Now we have come to the end of all these attributes. The triumvirate of all these Bhagavan Krishna has given, and the last one is Sukham. Sukham Tvidanim Trividam Shrunume Bharatarshava Abhyasadramate Yatra Dukkhantancha Negachyati. Bharatarshava Arjuna. Idanim, now Idanim, we have discussed about Dhruti, Buddhi, and the Karta, Karma, Jnanam, etc. All those things you keep in mind. Keep in mind. Keep on contemplating about that. Don't you forget. And now you listen to this. Trividham Sukham. About threefold happiness. Threefold happiness, not in the same person. Three different sets of people. That how they enjoy that happiness. Listen to me, nibodhame, shrunume, nibodhame, shrunume. Yatra, in which abhyasat, by repetition, abhyasa. This abhyasa was used earlier in the 6th chapter. Asamshayam mahabaho mano durnigraham chalam abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha gruhyate. That abhyasa, the repetition is required. That repetition. This tamasic fellow Brahmara, like you are mentioning, you must make him repeat that this is not the way, but this other thing is the way. He must do mantra japam of those things and understand fully. Then he will be a useful for any labor on any kind of ritual you want to nominate. Otherwise, he's already spoiled. He will become much worse. Okay. Abhyasat, by repetition. Then Ramate, one discovers joy. Okay. Dukkhantam cha, the end of sorrow. Dukkhantam cha negachyati. He gains the end of the dukkha. Dukkha, end is what? Again, this kind of a thing was mentioned in the 6th chapter. 6th chapter. Dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga uchyate, something that's not coming. Okay, abhyasat, that dukkhantancha negachyati. Yatadagre visham iva. Initially, it looks as though very difficult, as though it is poisonous. Visham iva. As though poisonous. Pariname, towards the end, as it is transformed into the final result, Amrutam upamam, like even nectar. Atma buddhi prasadajam, which is capable of giving the vijnana regarding what is Atma. Atma buddhi prasadajam. Can you roll it up, Brahmara? Yeah. Atma buddhi prasadajam, that which is capable of giving the self-knowledge. Tat sukham, that happiness. Satvikam proktam. It is said to be Satvika Sukham. Listen to me now, Arjuna, about the threefold happiness, that in which one discovers joy by repetition and gains the end of sorrow, which in the beginning is like poison, and when there is transformation is like nectar. That happiness is called Satvika, born of the clarity of self-knowledge. From out of the Puranas, we have the story of Valmiki. This Valmiki story is not available in the Valmiki Ramayana at all. In the Valmiki Ramayana, there is no mention that he was a kind of a terror for the wayfarers in the forest and things like that. And Narada and Rishis, they have advised him to utter the Rama mantra in a reverse way, Mara, 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 etc. That was beneficial to him, and that repetition he did very willingly and very happily he has done. And parinameve sukhameva. Tad buddhi, that not buddhi, that sukham, Satvikam Proktam. Okay, this kind of a thing, a lot of people have gone through this and they have been successful. Yatadagre vishamiva pariname amrutopamam. Supposing somebody tells you, hey, you have been listening to your Zoom classes, Gita discussion and all that, but when will you start chanting the Gita every day? Suppose somebody asks you that question, can you, using your Purushartha, make a decision here and now that you will chant chapter 1 today, chapter 2 tomorrow, and at the end of the 18th day, you will have chanted the 18th chapter, and the 19th day, again, chapter 1. That kind of a resolve. Can you make now? Etadagre vishamiva.
Yes.
Yes, Nana.
What I'm saying is, etadagre, initially, it looks as though it is poisonous. My God, how much of time I have to spend. And not only that, I don't know much of Sanskrit. These texts are perhaps not available in my vernacular, but this Gita text is available in all languages in the country. Forget about the world, in the country, whatever written languages are there, in every language there is Bhagavad Gita. You get hold of that. Make a resolve. You will do first chapter today, second chapter tomorrow. Even though it is difficult, you will spend that much of time. 18th chapter on the 18th day. 19th day, first chapter again. That continues forever and forever. And as you keep on going on and on and on, you will gain expertise in chanting, and you will be able to read the text very nicely, quickly. You may do 2 chapters a day. In 9 days, you may do the entire Gita. And as you go progressing, you may do 1 Shatkam every day. Shatkam is set of 6 chapters. Second Shatkam, second day. Third Shatkam, the third day. Can you make that resolve? Yatadagre vishamiva pariname amritopamam tatsukam satvikam proktam atma buddhi prasadajam. Atma buddhi prasadajam. For the past so many months, we have been talking of this Atma buddhi through the mouth of Bhagavan Kitaya. And what is the resolve we have made? Can we make that resolve? Yatadagre vishamiva pariname amritopamam atma buddhi prasadajam satvikam proktam. This is the call by Bhagavan Krishna. Can we conform to that? Yatadagre vishamiva pariname amritopamam. Can each and every one of us make that resolution now and conform to that?
Yes, Nanaji.
Okay?
Yes,
Yes, Nana.
And
Yes,
that
Nana.
will be a tremendous blessing.
Yes,
Yes.
Nana. Thank
Because
you
that
so
is
much.
Atma Buddhi Prasadajam.
Mhm.
It's not.
I was thinking,
Yeah.
so start tomorrow, but you have told me today.
Very good. Very good. I tell you, Hittaya will be extremely happy with all of you.
Thank you.
And his benevolence and blessings will be always on you. He will help you. Make a beginning. Listen to me now, Arjuna, about the threefold happiness, that in which one discovers joy by repetition and gains the end of sorrow, which in the beginning is like poison, and when there is transformation is like nectar. That happiness is sattvika, born of the clarity of self-knowledge. Born of the clarity of self-knowledge, that happiness that is everlasting. It is not a borrowed happiness. It is not a created happiness. It is swaswarupa eva, your own swarupa that you will discover as you keep on chanting this. Okay? Ekam shastram devaki putra geetam eko mantra tasya namani yani ekam karma tasya devasya seva that must be acknowledged, and we must make a beginning to live that. Okay? My
Nanaji, the
already
sloka
8
you
o'clock. Hey, what is happening? Is time simply running away from us?
Yes,
Already.
Nanaji, we don't realize only. It's
No
so
matter.
beautiful.
No matter. Okay, no matter. It's all right.
Nanaji, the sloka you just now chanted, where is that from? Ekam, that one?
That is in the short form of the Gita Mahatmyam.
Okay.
That is the short form of Gita Mahatmyam. Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam. Eko Deva Devaki Putra Eva. Eko Mantra Tasya Namani Yani. Karma Pyekam Tasya Devasya Seva. Tasya Devasya Seva. It's not just Kitaya, who is the son of Vasudeva. It is Brahma. It is the Atma Tattvam. It is Swayam Tvameva. It is you. It is you. That is what is the import of the short form of the Gita Mahatmyam. Okay, we will end at the end of the 18th chapter. We are in any case going to chant that. Listen to me now, Arjuna, about the threefold happiness, that in which one discovers joy. See here, one discovers joy. That means what? Joy is not obtained, it is discovered. Columbus discovered America. He did not invent America. America was there even when Columbus was languishing in Spain. The joy is discovered. One discovers joy. And where is this joy? Within you. Within you. Prajahata yada kaman sarvan padhamanogatan atmaniyeva atmana tushtaha. He is happy with himself, by himself, with no other external inputs and influences. That discovers joy by repetition and gains the end of sorrow, which in the beginning is like poison. It is very tough in the beginning. It is very difficult. So looking like poisonous, my God, how to do that? It is all easy to say, but how to do it? I have to do it day in and day out, every day, without let or hindrance, without giving it up. Otherwise, Kittaya's blessings will be perhaps not on me and somebody else, which I don't like at all. I want the entire benevolence of Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna on me. Okay? That kind of an intent, if you have, this poisonous thing in the beginning, it does not look so poisonous after all. And there is transformation. It's like nectar. That happiness is called Sattvika, born of the clarity of self-knowledge. Atma Buddhi Prasadajam. Not only it is born out of the clarity of self-knowledge, it is the bestower of self-knowledge. It is the bestower, Atma Buddhi Prasadajam. It gives you that Atma Buddhi, clarity of knowledge, okay? Yeah, we will continue tomorrow. I don't know, this set of from 31 onwards, we're taking endless time. Is it something happening in this set of these 10 verses? Tomorrow I'm going to race away. No questions will be answered tomorrow till I go to 45. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm saying that
Because,
I can't do that.
yeah, because I think there were a lot of clarifications and questions coming up.
Yeah,
That is
that's okay.
But it's
Yatadagre vishamiva pariname amrutopamam.
correct.
Atma Buddhi Prasadajam. Example is how the Pandavas lived in the forest. Just a few days before, Yudhishthira was the emperor of Hastinapur. And poor fellow, he has conformed to his paternal sambandhi, the elder father, his order, come and play dice with my children. And those days, the norm was a king cannot refuse the request of another king. Dhritarashtra was not only the king, he was venerable to Yudhishthira. So he has confirmed that. And after Draupadi has kind of resurrected all these Pandavas from the mire of infamy, when they were going back to Indraprastha, the Shakuni and company, they have devised another means, just one game of dice. Again, Dhritarashtra sends word, and poor Yudhishthira has to conform to that. And then for 13 years they were in the forest. Yatadagre vishamiva pariname amrutopamam tatsukam satvikam proktam atma buddhi prasadajam. Every other thing, that activity we take up may not be so very severe, but this is an example. Okay. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om everybody.
Nanaji,
Yes, please.
can I listen one chapter a day? Because the chanting is not clear for me.
Just a moment, Renuji.
Dr. Dharanga, please
Yeah, what Dr.
ask
Renu-
my...
Yes. What she's asking is it enough if she, instead of chanting, is it all right for her to just listen to one chapter a day?
Yeah. Easy.
Thank
You
you.
reading. Yeah. Read one chapter every day.
Yeah, reading okay. And then listen. Thank you so much. Thank you.
No, what I'm saying is better than listening to the audio.
Yes.
A better thing is for you to read the chapter within yourself. You need not chant.
Excellent. I
You
will
read the
definitely.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
And Gita is available in all languages.
I have since.
Okay.
Since
And till you get hold of a book of your choice, you keep listening. That's okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Hari Om.